Hello, everyone, and welcome to Superman Homepage Live, brought to you by SupermanHomepage.com, the number one Superman fan site in the world. In this, our August 18th, 2025 show, we're going to be covering a range of topics, including some non-controversial, look, it's controversial for some people. A kiss that happened after the word cut in filming of the Superman movie. We'll get to that in a second. We're also going to be discussing all the things about the digital release of the new Superman film. We're going to be talking comic books. We've got so much to get through tonight. And joining me, as always, is my single co-host tonight, Mark Lax. Hey, Mark.
Hello, Steve. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing okay.
That's good. Yeah, sadly, Michael Bailey, our other co-host, has had to work tonight. So his work schedule has preempted his appearance here as our co-host tonight. So we wish him well. Hope he's not working too hard, and he'll be back joining us next week for that show. But it's just Mark and I tonight, so we will get through all tonight's topics. But bit of housekeeping to start off with. We want to thank our sponsors and patrons, our Superman champions, Douglas Meacham, John Patrick Van Pelt, Tina Murray, Rick Schutzow, and Jamie Klingensmith. Thank you so much to those fine folks for making the show free for everyone. It's their financial support that helps this show go and continue to go. So thank you so much for being our champions. And if you'd like to have your name read out at the beginning and end of every Superman Homepage Live show, then all you have to do is go to patreon.com/Superman Homepage, where you too can be a sponsor of the show. It doesn't have to just be your name. If you've got a business that you want to promote, we're happy to do that as well. All right, if we do have time tonight, then we do sometimes take live callers. And to do that, all you have to do is visit supermanhomepage.com/live, or where you can press the call now button and you'll be put in a green room where you'll be able to still continue to see the show while we wait to get on. Or if you got your smartphone handy, all you have to do is scan that QR code. That'll take you to the same place, and you will again be waiting where you can still watch the show and hear everything that's going on while you wait to come on in probably the second half hour of tonight's show is when we'll get a chance to hopefully take some live callers. But let's get into tonight's topics, and as always, we like to start with the movie side of things. And before we get into the controversy that's supposedly been a big debate of topic on social media, Friday, August 15th, saw the digital release of the new Superman film. It says worldwide, but I've only seen North America being available digitally. I know friends in the UK haven't got it. We definitely don't have it available yet here in Australia, and New Zealand don't have it yet. So I think it's just a North American thing. I haven't heard anybody from Canada yet, so it might be as far up there as well. But so let us know where in the world you are if you've been able to purchase the digital version of the new Superman movie. And Mark, I know you have, although you haven't had a chance to watch it yet.
I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. No, no.
So
I saw it, bought it, and I figured I'll check it out later.
yeah, no. So it's available obviously on Apple TV, Amazon Prime, Fandango at home. So a number of locations that you can purchase it. If you haven't done so yet and it's available for you, then go to supermanhomepage.com. You'll be able to purchase it digitally through our website, and we get a kickback, especially if you're doing it through Apple or Amazon, at no extra cost to you. And that's a great way to support the site financially as well. So it's available as of Friday, August 15th. There's a lot of discussion on, people saying, oh, it's too early, it's ruining, the theatrical box office takings. And there's a lot, we've discussed that at length, and I did a whole article on the Superman homepage Speeding Bulletin newsletter that went out on August 15th discussing all that. And James Gunn came out and said it was actually because of Peacemaker Season 2 coming a little bit earlier, premiering a little bit earlier than originally thought, that they brought the digital release of Superman a little bit forward from what they probably had anticipated, because obviously Season 2 of Peacemaker starts off where the Superman movie kind of ends. So it's like it follows directly on after that.
Yeah. I haven't watched Peacemaker. I don't know if I will watch it. I might. I didn't watch it the first season, but well,
No.
that makes sense to a point. Um, is it really going to be that big, especially at this point? I mean, they could have waited till September. Would September make such a big difference that if Peacemaker comes out first, that's going to spoil so much of the movie, considering it's been out for 8 weeks or
Hmm.
something like that. You know, so I personally think it's a little too early, but hey, it's out there, so you know,
Yeah. So
buy it.
if you want a bit of a comparison, so gone are the days. So everyone loves to compare, Superman movies with previous Superman films, and they want to always go back to Man of Steel and talk about how long and all those kinds of things. 2013 is a completely different time to 2025.
Mhm.
2025's post-pandemic. We've got a completely new digital landscape these days. So if you want to compare it to other 2025 films, not just from Warner Brothers, but from other studios. So, for example, if we were going to look at 2025 box office movie releases to digital release, Superman was, I think it's 35 days since its premiere in the theaters to its premiere on digital. In comparison, Jurassic World Rebirth was 33 days digital from its premiere. A Minecraft movie was 39 days. F1 the movie was 49 days. So at 35 days, Superman is right in the middle there. It's like, pretty much spot
Mhm.
on with other 2025 films. So it's kind of standard operating procedure now for movies in 2025 compared to the 150 days that Man of Steel went from its premiere to its release in 2013. So it's a completely different time, different procedures now with digital. Digital was only kind of early in its days in 2013. It wasn't as prevalent as it is today as an option for people. With internet speeds being faster and everyone being, having big
Mhm.
screen TVs and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's a new time. It's a new way of doing things, and we can't compare what happened in 2013 to what happens in 2025 because it's like comparing what happened in 2013 to comparing what happened in 1978, when sometimes
Right.
movies wouldn't come out for nearly a year on VHS back then.
Right. And it's what was I going to say? I remember when Batman '89 came out. It was the end of June. It was like, yeah, almost the end of June that
Right.
it came out. And then I remember it came out on VHS in October. And I thought, wow, that is so early for a movie to come out, because at that point you're right, it was almost a year. And that came
Mm.
out so much earlier. I think that was one of the first major movies that came out much earlier than normal. And I was like, wow, October, that's so early. But you're talking 2013, if they had HBO Max and a lot of the streaming service we had now in 2013, it wouldn't have been 100 and whatever days
No.
for Man of Steel to go from the movies to streaming or whatever. Definitely would not have happened if it was the
So,
same situation.
so a
So,
lot of people
I
saying
mean,
this
look,
is a
we
death.
don't know, but
Yeah.
when you think about it,
So a lot of people saying this is the death of movie theaters. Like, what incentive is
Mhm.
there for movie theaters to, for people to even go worry about buying tickets to go see a film in the theater when, we've got home systems now, comes out digital, it's 4K, you've got your surround sound, you've got your big TV. Well, that's where I think theaters are now trying to up their game with IMAX, with these 4D things where your chairs rumble and you've got, wind and things coming at you, which obviously you can't do at home. So that's where the movie theaters are trying to start upping their game and trying to make it more of a, an event, rather than just people, sitting at home watching it on their TV and what have you. But so yeah, it's a different time. I mean, just like roller rinks and ice skating rinks are no longer things that used to be huge back in the 80s. Everyone
Yeah.
was roller skating and roller rinks, and so drive-ins did the same thing. They've kind of become more of a niche thing rather than mainstay. So that's the times we live in. Things move on. We can't always expect things to stay the same. And I think we get a little bit nostalgic for the way things used to be, and keep looking back. And I think if the movie theaters are going to continue to thrive and be viable, then they need to up their game and make things available that people don't have in their home, so that they'll want to go out to watch them, rather than stay home and wait a couple of months, a couple of weeks, whatever the case may be, to watch it digitally at home.
Yeah.
So
I still enjoy going to the movies. I don't do it as often as I used to go all the
no,
time. And of course now, especially since the pandemic, and even before then,
yeah,
I hadn't, gone. So it's like all the big releases. That's where people are going. Your romantic comedies and stuff like that.
I
They're
can
not
wait for it
really
to come
doing
out.
so. Yeah, they're just waiting for it done streaming or whatever.
Yeah. So if you're not into streaming and you want to get a physical release of the film, that will be in September. So September 23rd, it will be available on 4K, Blu-ray, DVD formats. So, and again, you can pre-order those through our website as well. So that's something to look forward to if you're interested in the physical releases. But if you're waiting for the digital side of things, it's available now if you're in the US. Haven't heard anybody in the comments who's from maybe Canada, if they've got it there. So, yep, that's where things are at with the film. Now, so it is available digitally now. Director's commentary, behind the scenes deep dives, comprehensive special features are all part of the digital release as well. And some of those interesting aspects of the releases are the making of, and it's included there. You can see it there, over 90 minutes of bonus features, including adventures of the making of Superman, which Warner Brothers released online for a very limited time. It's an hour and something video that is now it's kind of disappeared off their YouTube channel and off their website, but it was available there for a brief time. And people have taken snippets of it. James Gunn posted a little bit about it on his social media. One of the aspects of the film that he was very happy got shown in the behind the scenes side of things was the element of the film, or the making of the film, where Superman is delivering his final speech, confronting Lex. Lex calls him a horrible thing, and an alien, and with other expletives. And Superman says, "That's where you've been wrong about me, Lex. I'm just as human as everybody else." And David Corenswet was having a hard time understanding his emotions at this point in the film. In the scene, he discusses, he stops and he goes off screen to chat to James Gunn about that. We can't show you the whole thing, but here's just a little bit of them from that making of documentary.
So we're doing this in front of everybody. He starts saying, I don't know if I feel this.
The whole crew's sitting around waiting like, come on, let's shoot, let's get this done. So finally I walked off set to talk to him in person.
He came in, came off set, and we get into this thing.
So great, but the is it am I just demonstrating? So if I say that's what it is to be human, that feels like I'm trying to prove it still, as opposed to I really know it.
I think there's a little bit of that. I mean,
okay,
but because
let me try
because
that.
The emotions are always lingering.
But isn't there something that I felt like shit about myself since the recording came out. It's just been like, I don't belong, I'm shit, everything's a lie, I'm not who I thought I was. When is this not the moment where I go, I was wrong to feel that way?
That's exactly where the issue is, right? Because what he didn't tell you was it was wrong to feel that way. There are feelings.
There's just a bit of that, a minute of this really nice sequence towards the end of this making of documentary, where I love the fact that David Corenswet is confident enough to be able to go, look, hang on, can we just stop here for a second? I'm just not understanding what my motivations are here as far as Superman. Like, we've just come off that conversation where I've gone to Pa and he's kind of told me, believe in yourself. You are, who you are is from your actions rather than some preconceived idea of what you think you were sent here to do. Your actions make you who you are. And so he's kind of feeling better about himself. But here he's giving a very impassioned speech to Lex about all these things. And it's nice that they're debating, and it means so much that he's not just phoning it in. He wants to understand what the character is feeling at this point in time to be able to deliver the speech in an authentic way. And I love the fact that him and James Gunn felt so comfortable with each other. They were able to kind of, stop everything, hold your horses. We need to discuss this and hash it out because I'm just not feeling it at the moment.
Yeah, it's funny. It's that whole thing. What's my motivation? Well, it's true. He wants to know. Do we say it this way? Do I say it that way? What about what I said before? Does that pertain to what I'm saying now? And it's nice to see that. I always like to see the behind the scenes. I like to see the process too, the way that people go about their performance and how they do it, and that scene of anything. I mean, that's one of the best scenes in the movie and one of the most important scenes in the movie. So you would hope that he would want to get it right, and say, hey, look, is it this and this, or so it's nice to see that he really wanted to get that speech right. James Gunn has his version of how he wants it, but then David Corenswet's like, hey, I'm the one saying it. Is this how I say it, or this is how I want to say it? So I like that. I like the camaraderie between the two of them, and watching that. I like to see the acting process and how that works.
Yeah, that was really, really interesting. So to unlock this video online, fans were asked to kind of on social media, Warner Brothers and DC Studios was putting up these 4 digital cards. There was there was Superman, there was Lois Lane, there was Lex, and there was Krypto. And each one had a letter, and you had to decipher what that word was, which ended up being HOPE was the 4 letters. And then when you put those into the official website, it revealed the video of this documentary that you were able to watch online for a very limited time. So I'm glad we were able to do that and see it. And I was able to grab that for you so you can see that one little snippet of video. But on top of that, another part of the documentary, the making of, has caused a little bit of controversy online. And people are calling out Rachel Brosnahan for continuing to kiss David Corenswet after James Gunn had called cut. I'm going to show you the video, and then let's see if this is actually a thing or not.
Right after the kiss.
And then they have that magical thing called chemistry that you can't really put a finger on and that even Lois can't logic her way out of.
You'd let me interview you as Superman.
Got it. Great. Okay.
Everything with.
Now, is this controversy or non-controversy?
It's not controversy. Total not controversy. I mean, it's two things. It's one, in the moment, he says, she gives him that quick one thing, and he goes, cut, until she just does it again. Or just being funny, she just had one quick kiss, and he goes, cut, she just does it again just to be kind of funny. What's the big deal? I don't get it.
Yeah. So for a lot of people, it's like, she's a married woman, she's got a husband, she's. What if it was the other way around? What if he kissed her after the cut had been called? It's like, it's really, people, stop grasping at things to kind of. I mean, I know we're discussing it here, and it was the headline of our show tonight, but it's been a controversy that I can't get away from looking online and all these discussions and people calling her husband, all these different things because he liked the post where people were controversially bringing this up. It's a lot to do about nothing. It's they're in the moment. They're you're acting, and that's part of it. And I'm glad that they felt comfortable enough around each other, because it must be very, very uncomfortable doing a 45-minute make-out session with a person that is not your partner in life. Mm. And I mean, I've done a bit of acting, but I couldn't imagine doing a make-out scene or a sex scene or anything like that with a complete stranger or someone that you're friendly with because you've now been working for a couple of months. But, does this mean that there's some kind of, is she cheating on her husband? Is there kind of some, it's ridiculous.
And I'm sure that wasn't the first take. I'm sure they did many kisses. That's just one that they happened to think it was cute, so they showed us. That's all it was. They probably, who knows how many times they did the scene, you know? And so that's just one thing, because, they probably said, oh, that's cute. And then they showed it. Well, it is cute, but people just don't take it like that. They just take it. That's just nuts.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to call everybody who's complaining nuts, but that is kind of goofy to take that
to that extent.
So, yes, exactly.
Yeah. So nothing to see here. Move along, people. It's not that big a deal. It's a storm in a teacup. But I wanted to discuss it here tonight because it has been a topic of debate. I have seen it online on social media, and maybe I'm, more engrossed in the world of Superman stuff that's coming up on my algorithm because I'm, 24/7 looking at it. Where for a lot of people, I can see people in the comments going, "I didn't even know this was a thing. I had never heard about this before. This is the first I'm hearing about it." So it's not that big a deal, and I think people are making a big deal about nothing. So move along. Nothing to see here. All right. Still on the Superman film. Yes, it's out digitally if you're in the US, in North America, but you still have the opportunity to see it on the big screen if you want to, both there and everywhere else in the world. It's still out in movie theaters. But the San Francisco's Baseball Cathedral at Oracle Park doing a Superman movie night on Friday, September 5th, where you'll be able to see the Superman on the big screen there. You can get your picnic blanket, your low chairs, and sit there on the grass, on the pitch, watching the movie on the big screen there at Oracle Park, September 5th. They're calling it their superhero night, and there's the Giants. Obviously that's the local team there. General admission is $28 a ticket, but they're pulling out all the stops. They've got Crypto's Playpen, where you can cuddle up with some puppies. There's a Daily Planet VIP experience at $85, which offers exclusive access to the temporarily renamed Metropolis Club Lounge, complete with a Fortress of Solitude ice luge and a limited edition black and orange Superman trucker hat. Obviously, black and orange being the colors of the Giants. It says the event promises a 360-degree viewing experience with surround lighting effects, enhanced sound systems, interactive entertainment throughout the ballpark. Doors open at 6 with the film starting at 7:30 p.m. sharp. There are only 400 VIP tickets available. Seating is on a first-come, first-served basis. So the San Francisco Giants website is where you can get your tickets. I think this is a cool idea, and I think more places should do these kinds of things.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's really cool. I mean, that's usually with a lot of movies. I mean, it's still great to have a good experience with a lot of people, and in the theater, and especially in the stadium, you're gonna get a lot. And I'm sure a majority of people going to see this are probably seen it already, but they want to see it. They want to get the experience, and then, like you said, you can spend more money to get an extra this and that. But yeah, no, just to have that big experience, that big screen, and all those people, it's kind of fun, kind of exciting.
And that's the other thing about seeing a movie in a theater that I think you don't get at home is that camaraderie of being with other people and hearing the audience laugh and cheer and cry and what have you during a movie. There's something to be said about that. You can't get that at home unless you've invited all your neighborhood over, crammed into your lounge room. So yeah, it's definitely also an added bonus of seeing a movie in a theater with other people, especially if it's a packed theater, that you get that experience of having everyone and have that joy, and seeing a horror movie with all these fans all screaming and gasping at the same time. It just adds value to the viewing experience. So it's a way to do it. Celeste Sims saying, what are people's responses to last week's fan question? We'll get to those, Celeste. Don't fear. We'll we've got that on our schedule tonight. That'll happen in the second half hour of tonight's program. We'll definitely get to the fan favorite question. So just stick around to get that. So talking about the Superman movie, but what's next? Well, James Gunn has already confirmed that he has written a treatment for the next story in what he's calling the Superman saga. Let's have a look at an interview that he did with the Hollywood Reporter at the premiere of season 2 of Peacemaker. Have a listen to James Gunn here.
I've already finished the treatment for the next story in what I'll call the Superman saga. The treatment's done, which means a very, very worked out treatment, and I'm working on that, and hopefully going into production on that. Not too far away from today.
So that's promising. It's not obviously a Superman 2 because, let's be frank, Superman was not Superman 1. It was the start of the new DC universe, and Superman was the main character, but there were obviously other characters being set up for the future of the DC universe. So he will be part of Supergirl. Obviously, we're hoping to see him briefly in the upcoming Supergirl movie in 2026. But I believe that they've already kind of set a date aside in June 2027 for this next installment, which is really cool. But if you're wondering what a treatment is a fully written out story beat by beat before you write the screenplay. A synopsis is written out, but shorter than a treatment. So this is a detailed, not a script, so to speak, but a full treatment is more than just a synopsis. It's like fully fleshed out, and it's got to obviously be written with the beats and the dialogue and all that kind of stuff. But he's written a detailed treatment for what he's calling the Superman saga, and we might be seeing that in like 2 years' time.
Yeah, that'll be great. Well, we know what involves Superman. We know that much. But yeah, I mean, because he's been kind of cryptic on what was coming next. First, it was like no, and then it was like, well, there's going to be a super family something, and now he's saying it's the next in the Superman, saga. So, it might not be Superman 2 or however they want to, call it, but it's obviously going to feature Superman, in a major role, and. Yeah. I mean, I'll be excited in anything that Superman's involved with, or in any kind of, I mean, I enjoyed the Justice Gang, and I enjoy, even if he at some point is part of some kind of Justice League movie or something, I'd be looking forward to that. This seems to be a little more Superman centric, the way he says Superman saga, and also mentioned the Superman family kind of thing, but who knows? It might. It might be Justice League. You don't know, which would make sense because a lot of them were introduced in this movie.
It'd be interesting to see exactly what it does contain and what it is, how it's laid out. But Supergirl next year. Hopefully, another Superman saga film in the year after. Do we know if Superman will make a cameo and appearance in Peacemaker season 2? Not sure, but it could be very likely. We saw Peacemaker make a cameo appearance in the Superman film. So it stands to reason that there could be a Superman cameo of some kind, or maybe a bigger feature in season 2 of Peacemaker. That would be obviously awesome to see David Corenswet again. But we don't know for sure. So I guess that's the whole point. They want you to continue watching, which is probably why, again, if that's the reason why Superman came to digital a little bit earlier than season 2 of Peacemaker premiering, because of season 2 of Peacemaker premiering, that it could stand to reason that there would be some kind of a Superman cameo in there, which preempted them, or which forced them to bring forward the digital release of the Superman movie. John Patrick Van Pelt, you don't think Superman kids will appear like we saw with... No, look, Superman's not even married at this point in time, so Jonathan and Jordan and any twins or any family or any kids, I don't see that happening in this universe at all, if anytime soon. That's not where they're going. This is a young Superman who's early in his career. Him and Lois are only just tentatively dating. Like that, their relationship was nearly on the rocks in this film. So marriage is something I think that's far, far, far down the track, and then kids even further than that. So I don't see a family. When they say Superman family, they don't mean Superman, Lois, and children. They mean Superman, Supergirl, Crypto, other superheroes, that kind of thing. So when they say super family, they don't mean him having a family. They mean a family of characters. So hopefully we've clarified.
Definitely doesn't mean kids.
No, definitely does not mean kids at this point in time.
No, not now.
No. So James Gunn recently participated in a interview on the Smartless podcast, which is a pretty big. It's got Jason Bateman, Sean Hayes, and Will Arnett, the three co-hosts. Not as highly popular as Steve Eunice, Mark Lax, and Michael Bailey, obviously. No. But those three guys do have their own podcast, and James Gunn was on that as a special guest, and he spoke about embracing kindness as a superpower, and talked about the debate over the trunks, the red trunks, whether to include them on the suit or not, and how David Corenswet was a big advocate for the red trunks to be there. We've kind of heard all those kinds of things in the documentary and in other interviews, but it's well worth listening to that podcast if you're interested. That is available right now wherever you get your podcasts, and James Gunn obviously really hammering home that being kind is really the new punk rock. So make sure you check that out. It's up on our website if you want to listen to that. All right, we are at the halfway mark of tonight's show. Before we get into the break and have a come back on the flip side to do the fan favorite segment and all those kinds of other things, and remind you of some of the ways you can get part of tonight's show, let me play you a quick trailer that of a Superman homepage exclusive interview that Mark and I conducted this past week with Neva Howell. So if you missed it, here's a sneak peek at the exclusive interview that we had with Neva Howell, who of course played Mark Kent in the new Superman film. We are joined by Neva Howell. Welcome, Neva.
Hello. Well, I remember playing a flower in the first grade. Was my first, I guess that was my debut, and I was magnificent, I must say. I try to wear this whenever I do interviews because I just love it. Now I've got it crooked. I'm going to go the wrong way.
It's always weird to know which way to go.
When you're looking at it in the...
It's not a mirror.
That's good.
And then Pruitt walked in. Pruitt Taylor Betts. And just nailed it. Just melted my heart, you know. When we were doing the phone scene, James was in the other room, but I could hear him laughing, even in the other room. And he was watching the monitors in the other room. And I remember him saying, louder, louder.
Watch the entire 45-minute interview with Neva Howell at supermanhomepage.com or right here on our YouTube channel.
We'll be back in a moment with the exciting climax of today's episode. So stand by.
If you're enjoying Superman Homepage Live, then please like and share this video with your family and friends. Also, if you'd like to subscribe to our YouTube channel, then you can click on the bell to receive notifications whenever we post a new video. You can also join our YouTube membership program. Just click the join button below. Or you can become a patron and support our website by going to patreon.com/supermanhomepage.
Look, up in the sky.
It's a bird.
It's a plane. No, it's supermanhomepage.com, the #1 Superman fan site in the world. Supermanhomepage.com, covering the world of Superman from the 1930s to today. News, reviews, rumors, and reports. Supermanhomepage.com for all your Superman comics, TV shows, movies, cartoons, radio shows, and more. Everything you ever wanted to know about the Man of Steel and more. Supermanhomepage.com.
Thanks, Superman Homepage, for all the support over the years. I really appreciate it.
I'm Matt Bomer. I'm the voice of Superman in Superman Unbound, and this is the Superman Homepage.
Right here on Superman Homepage.
I'm freezing! Superman!
Uh-oh.
now sounds like Lisa and Scott are trapped in the icy cave of that frosty-faced villain, Captain Cold. This is a job for Superman.
My fast freeze zapper will freeze Superman forever.
No way, Captain. Here, kids, my new Superman Hot Cocoa Mix is the super tasting way to warm up.
It's really sweet and chocolatey.
And see, Captain Cold can't take this warm reception. New Superman Hot Cocoa, the super tasting way to warm up.
We are joined by Neva Howell. Welcome, Neva.
Uh-oh.
I've already done that. Neva's infested our
Time
stream
travel
tonight. Yeah. So a couple of people commenting on that interview and saying, Cara73 says, not sure why James Gunn went with the southern accents. Midwesterners don't have them. But, oh, well, they both nailed it, she says, or he says. We actually get into that with Neva in the interview about the accent. And, they actually intentionally got a person from, that kind of area of the US, and she was her voice coach, and they've actually become really good friends, and she helped her talk the way that people from that area supposedly do talk. So there is some debate over it, and we know it's been controversial, and Neva, if she said she could do anything over again, was maybe to get certain words right that maybe she felt were not 100% on point. But there's a lot of that in the interview. So if you're interested, go for the Superman homepage interview with Neva Howell and check out everything she had to say about the accents for Ma and Pa Kent. All right, so in some sad news, we do need to report that obviously you've probably seen it by now, but Terence Stamp, who played General Zod in Superman the movie and more prominently in Superman 2, has passed away this past week. He was 87 years of age. Died on Sunday morning, August 17th. Our condolences to his family and friends. What a great actor who has done so many other roles, but obviously for us as Superman fans, he's best known as General Zod, and also for Smallville fans was the voice of the Jor-El AI in The Fortress of Solitude.
Yeah, what a just fantastic actor. I mean, and of course, yes, we all know him as, in our world, as General Zod and the voice of Jor-El in Smallville. But well, what a career this guy's had. I mean, he was in the business for I don't know how long, and he just, I mean, I think also Shakespeare and all of that, and it's funny because it's like one of these roles. You play this character, you're stuck with it for life. And I'm sure many, many, many people have come up to him and say, bow down before me,
kneel before God.
Planet Houston and all that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
And I'm sure he's taken it, with a grain of salt and all that, but he's known for so much, so much work, and I think a lot of people should probably go back if they can and find some of his older movies and watch him in those roles, and just to see not only how great he is, but the range he has too. That this guy over here could also play General Zod.
Yeah, his career spanned over 6 decades, and his performances in films were acclaimed, like Billy Budd, The Limey, and for us here in Australia, he was a drag queen in Adventures of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. Which I saw and was like, oh, General Zod, what are you doing? But that's how vast his acting range was. He could do many, many things, and it had quite a sense of humor as well. So he will be sadly missed. But 87 years of age is a great run, and I believe he didn't have any children, I don't think, but he's survived by his ex-wife, who they separated after quite a few years of marriage. And we don't know any details about any kind of memorial or anything like that. But as I said, our condolences go out to his family and friends. And it's sad whenever somebody of this great, stature passes away. But nobody lives forever, sadly.
No.
All right. Just quickly, still on the Superman side of things, another thing that got released this past week from the movie side of the world was Crypto Saves the Day. It's a new, these are animated shorts that we've been speaking about for a while, that there's going to be 4 of them. The first one is titled School Bus Scuffle, and it's Crypto. Well, he starts off by chasing this pigeon, which is, you know, like it's like almost like an enemy for him. It's kind of teasing him, and he's like goes after it, and in going after it causes all this havoc, and then needs to save the day from the havoc that he caused, which is kind of ironic. But it's a fun little romp. Here's a little bit of it if you want to have a check out and see the whole thing. So there's just a little bit of that. Justin in the comments, stop the pigeon. It kind of does remind me of those old cartoons. But so check it out in full. It's a fun little video of Crypto having his own adventures there in Metropolis. And great to see an animated version of David Corenswet's Clark Kent.
Yes.
All right, so check that out in full at our website as well. All right, still on the movie side of things, but looking back at the Christopher Reeve films, Warner Brothers Discovery Home Entertainment officially confirmed that they will be offering replacement discs for the 2023 Superman 5 film collection 4K Ultra HD box set. If you purchased those back in 2023 and had concerns about some of the errors and problems with audio and stuff on those discs, all you have to do is email whv@wbd.com and request replacement discs. And once they become available, they will get in touch with you about how you go about sending them out to you. You just kind of send a photo of your existing collection as proof of purchase when making your request. But if you're wondering what's been fixed, well, there's been some audio enhancements on Superman the movie, a video fix in the credit sequence that had a bizarre video glitch when Christopher Reeve's name came up. In Superman 2, there's improved Atmos mix. Superman 2, the Richard Donner cut. There's an iconic scene restored, fixes a geometry of a beloved final shot where Superman smiles at the camera. Superman 4, audio corrections. Superman 3 remains the same. It's unchanged. There's been no problems with that one, no technical issues with that. So, if you did purchase the 2023 version and want to get replacement discs, that's what you need to do. But if you never bought it and want to get the new versions of it, they will be available in September. But you can pre-order this from our website or through our website as well. Again, when you make a purchase using the links at our website, we receive a percentage of the sale at no extra cost to you, which is a great way to help support our website. So make sure you take care of that if you are interested in that 5-film collection. All right, time for our regular segment. Let's jump into the fan favorite segment of our show. All right, so our fan favorite question from last week, Mark, what was it?
It was, who is your favorite live-action Superman of all time?
Okay, and who did we have up first?
Up first, we have Jamie S. Klingensmith, who wrote, I hope I come on here to answer fan favorite question. My all-time favorite Superman is still Christopher Reeve. He by far shows the best Superman and Clark Kent. David did amazing David did Amazing 2, but I'll need more of him, like, say, Superman 2, if Gunn writes it, but Christopher Reeve is the best Superman by far.
Well, thank you, Jamie, for your answer. Next up was Wonder. And Wonder wrote, call it recency bias if you will, but after 4 viewings of this film, David Corenswet is my favourite live-action Superman casting. Christopher Reeve is the most iconic. Second fave is Tyler Hoechlin, who is my favourite live-action Superman in media. While I like the casting of Henry and Brandon, things outside of their controls hold them back. David is the first to have the perfect mix of acting chops, looks, just hair and costume, and luck. It's been a good piece of media in my lifetime. It may be very silly, but the hair curl, red trunks, and yellow S on the cape does something to my brain that pushed him ever so slightly above Tyler, who is also amazing. Well, thank you, Wonder. All right, next up.
G.P. Rocha wrote, my favorite Superman of all time is Christopher Reeve, forever and always, the GOAT.
Thank you, JP. Next up was Lorenzo Hot Takes Valdez, who said, no, as much as I love David Corenswet's performance in James Gunn's Superman, he has not supplanted Tom Welling as my favourite live-action Superman. Some fans, and perhaps Tom himself, would say that Tom shouldn't count, but let's remember that his Clark Blur took on Lex, Mixie, Brainiac, Zod, Bizarro, Doomsday, Toyman, Metallo, and Darkseid, which is something no other live-action Superman can boast. And we did get him in a CGI Superman costume plus a shirt rip in the series finale, so I say he counts. He brought so much emotional depth to the character throughout 10 years of the show, never more so than in his beautiful scenes with Kristen Krug's Lana Lang. No Superman actor has ever imbued a line delivery with more emotion than Tom in the Smallville episode Promise, when Clark says to Lana, look me in the eye and tell me that you'd rather spend the rest of your life with Lex Luthor instead of me. Well, thank you, Lorenzo. I appreciate your long thought-out answer.
John Rinaldi wrote, my favorite live-action Superman is George Reeves from the classic TV show The Adventures of Superman from the 1950s. I thought he gave a superior performance where he was probably the toughest Superman seen in live action. George Reeves was a former amateur boxing champion. I believe that natural toughness of his shines through when he also portrayed Clark Kent, almost with the same hard-hitting style. I am also biased because I own the Superman flying cape from the initial 1951 series. I purchased it from the Super Museum in 1998 when Jim Hambrick was trying to raise money to purchase the building, which he eventually did. Great job, guys. Love your show and website.
Thank you, John. It's very high praise coming from a collector like John. John P. Vanderpelt wrote, my favourite Superman of all time is Christopher Reeve in first place. In second place is Tom Welling from Smallville. Third is David Corenswet. Fourth, Tim Daly from Superman the Animated Series. And my final one is Tyler Hoechlin from Superman and Lois. Well, thank you, John.
And Kirby Lindell wrote, there's an old saying, what you love at 14, you love forever. Well, I love The Adventures of Superman at 4, 14, 24, and go all the way up to my current age of 70. And the main reason I love that show so much was George Reeves. He's such a wonderful Superman, exemplified truth, justice, and a better tomorrow. Always did the right thing, always was there to help people, and had some humor as well. And who did not love the wink to the camera. I still believe George's portrayal of Clark Kent is the best on film. You can take things out of their era, so of course the storytelling of modern film and television is very, very different. But I would take George anytime. That's not to say I haven't really enjoyed all the other great actors who played Superman. Christopher was spectacular. Tyler, Henry, Brendan, and David are also terrific.
Thank you, Kirby. So a couple of votes there for George, a couple for Christopher Reeve mostly, and David Corenswet, Tom Welling also amongst those. Tyler Hoechlin getting a mention as well. So well done. Thank you, everyone, for sending in your answers to the fan favourite question. A great range of actors to choose from and well thought out answers as well. So moving along with that theme, our next fan favourite question for this week is, who is your favourite live action Lois Lane of all time? The email to send your answers to is info@supermanhomepage.com. That's info@supermanhomepage.com. We will read out your answers when we return to this segment next week. So let us know who's your favourite Lois Lane, live action version of Lois Lane of all time. All right. Of course, we have to make that distinction because there's some pretty great voice actors which we've done before in the past as well. But now with a new live action film, want to see if anybody's opinions have shifted since we've previously asked this question. All right, let's jump into this week in history, which I am going to try to muddle my way through.
Come with me now, my son, as we break through the bars of your earthly confinement, traveling through time and space.
All right, so let me get my notes up here and see if I can do half a decent job compared to Michael Bailey, who is always awesome at doing this. All right, so looking back at this week in the decades of Superman's history, we go back all the way, nothing in 1945, so we look at August 1955, where we saw Superboy number 44 was released this week. It contained The Amazing Adventures of Superboy's Costume, The Job Superboy Lost, and Clark Kent Strongman. So that was back in 1955. Moving forward to 1965, yes, August 1965 this week, saw another Superboy comic, Superboy 124, where we saw the stories inside this comic book were the Insect Queen of Smallville, Super Baby's first fight. I'm sure Michael would have loved that story, Super Baby's first fight, and the toughest kid in Smallville. We see Superboy on the cover there having a good boxing match. All right, moving forward to 1975 this week, saw the release of Superman number 293, The Miracle of Thirsty Thursday. I've heard of the Miracle Monday story, but the Miracle of Thirsty Thursday, that's an interesting one. Yes, that was August 1975. And also in 1985, going another decade forward, World's Finest Comics number 321 saw Superman and Batman together. The Time of Your Life was the title of the story in this one. And that's Owlman, isn't it? On the no,
that's Kronos, I think.
Kronos, yes. Kronos, another time meddling villain. All right, now moving forward to 1995, August saw the release of Showcase 95 number 9, which featured Lois Lane on the cover there, and the story inside was a Lobo story, 4 funerals and a wedding, and a Martian Manhunter deep down. So, yeah, interesting to see Lois on the cover with those characters. Then moving to August 1995, saw the release of Superman 105 with a awesome cover there, Dan Jurgens by the looks of things. And this was Misperceptions was the story inside, and you've got Green Lantern co-starring there in this one, written by Dan Jurgens. Jose Luis Garcia Lopez was the penciler, praise be his name. Yeah, very cool cover there for that one. August 2005 saw the release of Birds of Prey number 85, which featured Superman on the cover. This was written by Gail Simone. And also in 2005 this week saw the release of issue number 5 of Lex Luthor Man of Steel. This one by Brian Azzarello with Lee Bermejo and Carl C. Story doing the artwork. Man of Steel conclusion. So that was the end of that acclaimed series. And then in 2015, we saw Injustice: Gods Among Us Year 4 number 8 released, and the same week we saw the release of Justice League number 43 with the Superman that was like a inverse version of himself.
Yeah, the dark side, part of the dark side war and their powers.
Yes.
They're updated their powers.
Exactly. And also this week in 2015 saw Justice League Gods and Monsters number 2, which was like a Elseworlds of a different Earth and a different version of the characters. So that was this week. And finally, in 2015, the same week, we saw Superman Wonder Woman number 20, A Matter of Trust, was the story within. You've got Steel there on the cover.
One of the best Superman stories ever.
So there you have it. Mark tells you to go read it.
The old truth.
Alienation.
Yeah, the old truth.
Yep. So this week in the real world, we wish Amy Adams a very happy birthday. She was born August 20th, 1974. Obviously played Lois Lane in the Henry Cavill Superman films, Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, Justice League, Zack Snyder's Justice League. So we wish her all the best. She was born 1974 in Aviano, Italy. So she was actually born in Italy. So technically Italian, but yeah, obviously American. Also this week, back in 1993, we saw the release of the issue Superman number 82, which saw Superman return from the dead. That was released on August 24th, 1993. So Superman back from the dead, back for good.
Yeah.
They were the two
Remember
variants.
that.
Obviously, the one on the right was a foil version cover, and the one on the left was the standard print edition. So there you go. That was This Week in History. Hope you enjoyed that, and I didn't do too badly.
Very good.
Thank you very much. All right, well, let's jump into the rest of this week's topics. And while we're on the topic of comic books, DC released their solicitations for November this past week. And some of the books that were interesting in the solicitations this time around were... I'm just going to grab the covers. Here we go. We had Action Comics. Superman number 32. This is the cover for Superman number 32. Lex Luthor is back, but how did he get into the deadly tournament? Can Superman and Lex work together to learn about the Heart of Apocalypse and how to stop it? And who protects Metropolis as it transforms into a raging fire pit? This is obviously a tie-in to the DC KO storyline that is of running rampant at this point in time. Also coming out in November is Action Comics 1092 by Mark Waid. It's for the first time since his unexpected debut, Clark returns to the city of tomorrow, obsessed with the future and his place in it, particularly since Captain Comet has deliberately set a mighty obstacle in front of him that he and his family have no idea how to overcome. He needs to earn the trust of the people of Metropolis, and fast. So that's just a couple of the comic books coming out in November as solicited by DC Comics. You can check out all the Superman-related solicitations for comic books coming out in November at our website. There are some really interesting listings in there. Anything in particular you're looking forward to, Mark?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm enjoying the Superman title. I like that. Well, Lex may or may not be going back to being a bad guy. I mean, he's been good for a while, and I think it's time that he kind of goes back to being the bad guy that he should be. I think. Yeah. And of course, I've been reviewing the Action Comics and Superboy storyline, which I've really been liking. So it's been really good. It's a new take. It's a new take on Superboy that we haven't seen before by Mark Waid, and it's really good.
Yeah, excellent. All right, well, that pretty much brings us to the end of tonight's show. Before we do sign off, I'd like to thank everyone for watching tonight's episode of Superman Homepage Live, and once again, thanks to all those who were in the comments watching the show live with us tonight. We appreciate your feedback and your interactions with the show, and a big thank you to you, my co-host, Mark Lax. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Steve.
Didn't get our names up after we earlier on we had who we were at the bottom of the screen, but nevertheless, I want to thank our sponsors and patrons: Douglas Meacham, John Patrick Van Pelt, Tina Murray, Rick Schutzau, and Jamie Klingensmith. Thank you so much for your financial support, keeping this show free for everyone. We really appreciate your helping us out. There we go. Got the names back up.
Oh, there we are.
Yes, I forgot who I was. If you want to sponsor the show, remember you can head to patreon.com/Superman homepage. The complete 1 hour video of tonight's show will remain both up on our website and on our YouTube channel. If maybe you tuned in late, missed part of the show, want to watch it all over again, you can do so at those two locations. But we'll be back next week with Michael Bailey in tow for our Monday, August 25th show at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time for another edition of Superman Homepage Live. Hope you'll join us then. Until then, be sure to check out supermanhomepage.com for all your daily news updates on everything surrounding the Man of Steel. I'm Steve Eunice, on behalf of myself and Mark Lax. Thanks for watching Superman Homepage Live, brought to you by supermanhomepage.com. Good night.